Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Vida. I am the host alongside my husband. His name is Rodney Pitts. We are the hosts of Fighting for Freedom. Fighting for Freedom is a platform that's designed to showcase those individuals who are incarcerated, who are locked up behind bars. We want to give them a space to talk about their accomplishments, talk about who they are, what they've been doing since they've been in prison. Again, my husband is the host alongside me. He is incarcerated. He's a WCI. And together we are fighting for freedom. We are here every third Sunday at 7 o'clock. So join us, come in and see what we have going on. We have a very special guest today, Mr. Darius Duppins. I want to thank you, sir, for giving us your time, for sharing this space with us. Mr. Duppins is incarcerated at Western Correctional Institution. He's here today. We are happy to have you, sir. Thanks for coming on, and please introduce yourself to everyone.
My name Darius Duppins. Everybody know me as Nice. Uh, right now I'm incarcerated at WTI. Uh, and I'm just looking forward to gaining my freedom back as soon as possible.
Oh, sorry about that. Go ahead, Mr. Duppins. Continue.
No, that was all. That was all.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, welcome. Welcome again. Thank you so much, sir, for coming on the show. We really appreciate you. We appreciate your time. And so you're at WCI. WCI is in Cumberland. So tell us how much time you have. Tell us um what led you there. What happened and what got you at WCI.
As of right now, I have a temporary sentence of life plus 20. What led me here? I mean, this the prison that they sent me to, and I was convicted in my second jury trial. But right now, I'm serving time for first degree murder and conspiracy to murder. I had a hung jury in my first trial. In my second trial, I was convicted for the first degree murder charge and conspiracy to murder charge.
Okay, I heard you say that you have a temporary sentence. What does that mean?
Um, as of right now, it's a bill going on this waiting to be passed through legislation, but we have had state's attorneys, like the head state's attorney in Baltimore, and you had the head state's attorney in Prince George's County. They've been working to implement um, these guidelines for for people who were convicted for crimes that was so, supposedly committed when they was a juvenile. So the whole thing about it was that all right, it started in Alabama where it's Alabama versus Miller 2012. That's the case. It basically states that it's cruel and unusual punishment for them to give a juvenile a life sentence because a juvenile is not old enough to understand the consequences to their actions. So that's what makes it cruel and unusual punishment for them to give you that much time because your brain is, they say a male brain, well, there have been multiple studies stating that male brain is not fully developed until they are the age of 25. So you're incapable of understanding the consequences to your actions for whatever it is that you do as a juvenile, which us as humans, we understand, or through maturity, we understand that certain decisions that you may have made in the past, you probably wouldn't make now
Right.
when you become a certain age because it's a learning experience, it's a maturity thing, It's you understanding whether some you're being manipulated or you just have an understanding of life. So you know when you're younger, you're easily impressionable, uh,
Mm-hmm.
influenced by many different things or whatever. But for the most part, Maryland haven't passed that law yet, but we have had six attorneys in these two parts of Maryland that understood those things and they put things in place to start helping youths get released for crimes that they committed at those ages or whatever in their life. Because the whole point of incarceration is supposed to be for rehabilitation. So
Right, right.
as a person, we all understand as you get older, you get mature, and start to understand things, and people do change. So if they they put in place certain stipulations, and one of them was you had to have 20 years worth of time in day for day. So those guys who did have 20 years in already, they are trying to push those dudes out, and those dudes who don't, by the time they get to that, they would be pushing them out too. But legislation is trying to basically substantiate it and put it in black and white in law. But in other states like Virginia, Pennsylvania, Alabama, California, all those states, they came up with guidelines to people who committed crimes as a juvenile, and the most time that they basically give them was 30 years. So
Mm.
we hoping that Maryland could come to some type of guidelines rather than still leaving it in a judge hand or a attorney hand, or that will leave the power out of a judge's hand or attorney hand, because at the same time we still deal with corruption and biases and stuff like that in the state of
Right.
Maryland. So that would basically alleviate all the hula hoops that you already faced with due to the judicial system anyway. So that's really why I say it's a temporary. It's something that's temporary because I was a juvenile at the time that they saying that I committed this crime. So,
Okay. You can go ahead.
but here's the thing that that's just one of the things that we are faced with in Maryland, because it's like if you was to ask any lawyer, anybody who study law about the legal system or judicial system in Maryland, they would tell you that Maryland doesn't go off of their own law. Their law is opinionated, so it's opinion based. So you can have a
Oh,
judge, you can have three different judges, you can give them all some type of case law, and they
mm-hmm.
interpret it just a different way, or give or have a different outcome of that law, which it shouldn't be that way, because it should all be interpreted one way. It should mean one thing, and that's just what it's supposed to be, rather than oh I feel like this or I feel like the law is not about how you feel. It's about what you say and what this is what you're supposed to go off of, not how you feel. Because now your beliefs come into the play, and we know all people have majority of people have different beliefs. So somebody else's life shouldn't be based off of your feelings,
Right.
because that's the authority that the law gives these judges. So it's an uphill battle. It's an uphill battle, let alone the other things that you're faced with just being incarcerated. But it's the light definitely need to be shined on like the judicial system in Maryland, because it's like it's so many instances where a person's rights have been violated, and it's like he find a way to basically disregard whatever the law is and say, well, this what I'm doing, and well, I feel like this means this and this, that, and the third. So it's just an uphill battle, man, that we face with, man. And a
What do
lot
you
a lot of us,
go ahead. No, I was gonna ask a question, but you can go ahead.
just a lot of people, I would say citizens of the United States are ignorant to the laws of the United States, and basically what those laws mean, what what the laws that they are going to hold you accountable for, whether you know them or not. So because they not really worried about whether you know them or not.
Mm-hmm.
Violate them, they're going to use them against you, and being in a position of a race-based country is like, even if you do use the law or use the law to protect you, it's like it only protects you, but so much when I guess you don't have the complexion for the connection, as I would say.
Right, right. I definitely understand that. What do you think um happens or happened because you've been in there since you've been in there, I think 16 years. How long have you been in there?
Yeah, 16 years.
So you've been in there
January.
16 years and you was sent there as a juvenile. How old were you when you went to prison?
When I came into, well, once when I got convicted, I was 21. Now I'm
Okay.
about to turn 22.
So are you eligible for the juvenile law?
Huh? Say it again.
Are you eligible for the Juvenile Justice Restorative Act? I think that's what it's called.
Yes, I am eligible, but the only thing is I don't have the amount of time that
Okay.
they want you to have been. So they want you to have 20 years, and if they like not counting no good credits or no good conduct credits or nothing.
Okay.
I
So
am
what?
process
Mm-hmm.
going through courts as far as a post conviction. Basically, me filing my a petition to the courts stating that um which which laws or which amount of my rights that had been violated during the trial that I went through when I was convicted.
So I thought the law you had to be I guess it's not a law now. They're working on it that the age is 24 or younger. Anyone who committed a crime 24 or younger will be eligible to for relief if they have 20 years or more in. Is that what you're saying? Is that how it works?
Yeah, see that's yeah, see that's a separate. All right, you have the juvenile. This was the big fuss was about in Maryland as of right now. All right,
Okay.
you have the 24 under you because at first it was two separate bills, but the senators tried to they amended it and tried to combine them because we all understand how uh, bipartisan basically transpire when you're trying to get any type of law passed, whether it's federal or state based.
State.
In order for certain senators to agree to or give their vote to a certain bill, they would basically give their input saying, well, the only way that I will agree with this is if you do this. So in Maryland, they they try to combine the bill for 24 and under with the 17 and under, which was for the
The
juveniles.
juveniles. Okay.
They tried to put both of them together, which we all know probably was going to cause some type of not I wouldn't say chaos, but some type of con- conflict between senators because you'll have some who believe that all right, these juveniles believe should have a second chance, but then you'll have they might not believe that someone who is a 24 or under, they may feel like, well, they are adult and they understood this, that, and the third, no matter what the science may say. So they combined both of them. They combined both of them in order for them to get more senators, I guess, to agree to the Senate bill because that's what we were trying to get passed by. The senators is the ones who put in for this bill to get passed in Maryland. But they were originally two separate bills.
Okay. Okay. I don't understand a lot of stuff about the bills and how they work, and but what we do know is they want a lot of y'all, or just probably all of y'all, to come out and be, the productive citizen and the rehabilitated citizen, and
Yeah.
so it's programs I know that's in the prison, and it's probably some that need to be in the prison. What are you doing to rehabilitate yourself? Because basically that's probably what you have to do, so that when you come out, you can be better than you were when you went in. You've grown up basically in prison. So what are you doing to turn some things around, so when you come out here, you can be that productive person?
All right. So all right. My whole time in prison, I have been educating myself with our, and when I say our, I mean us as black people. I've
Right.
educated myself with our true history, heritage, and our true culture.
My
Not
man. Okay.
taught in school within this whitewashed curriculum just being taught in schools, because you got some people who believe our history started when slavery started. We have a history before slavery.
Okay.
But I've educated myself. I've educated myself on those things, which change, and through our through true knowledge, I understand the value of us as a people, which gives you a better understanding of yourself, who you are, who you come from, your greatness, your people's greatness, what you are capable of, and it gives you a better uh, it builds your self esteem as you being a black person in this country with all the things that we're faced with. So I educated myself with our history. Then I educated myself to learn about the legal system, finance,
Mm-hmm.
types of finance, and how they generate money, and how to create wealth.
Okay.
That's something that's not taught. That's something that's not taught to us, which I think is the very root to our demise in this country.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Okay. Wow. We heard that, audience. Well, Mr. Duppins, what I like for you to do is call back. And if you can, we are going to take a break. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe. Mr. Duppins, you'll be able to call back.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what we'll do. We'll take a little break right now. You give us a call right back, and we'll get you right back into the
You
meeting.
have 30 seconds remaining.
All right, I'm about to call. I'm about to call right back.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, all right. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you guys for continuing to rock out with us. I want to thank, who's that? The little family. I see your comments. I'll definitely read them out. Let them come home. Been locked up since this kid was 16. We love you. Okay, Anissa Ray. Good evening. How are you? Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you, sister. Thank you for whoever is here and has not. Ikea J, thank you so much. He got to see his kids. He's never got to see his kids outside of the jailhouse. He's been locked up for too long. His kids are 16. Wow, free Darius. Absolutely. We're going to be on here. We're going to be coming back every third Sunday, 7 o'clock. and we're going to have a new guest on for you guys, an incarcerated individual, someone who we are fighting to help get these young men and women out of prison. It's been way too long. Thank you,
Hello?
thank you, thank you. Hello, you back, Mr. Darius Duppins? Thank you so much. Thanks for calling back.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you. So we were just talking about the things you're doing in there to, rehabilitate yourself. You're doing some great things, learning finances. That is something that isn't even taught out here. That's something that we need out here. So the fact that you in there and you learning it and you taking that step is absolutely magnificent. It's one people out here who don't know their finances and having trouble with their finances. So that's definitely needed. That's wanted, and I appreciate you for that. So let's get back into your support system. Who's supporting you and helping you and got your back in there.
Um, I have a best friend who she kind of been here for me since the day that I got arrested. My daughter, my son, and I have 5 sisters. So they always there. They always there for me for whenever I need their assistance. Uh, but for the most part, it's anything in life that you want, you gotta go seek it. You gotta go seek it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Mm-hmm.
way for you to accomplish anything, especially being in here with the things that keep us stagnated, keep us. I mean, it stunts your growth in here because then it's
Right.
not really too much or nothing in here for you. Well, in the prison that I'm in, it's not really too much that you can do because everything has stipulations or this that or this that you can't do this because of this or you can't do this. So you had to think outside of the box in here. So that's just like all right, like one of the other things that I've done since been here to rehabilitate myself is all right. For the most part, it's probably really only 2 programs that is actually active and that you can really get into here because it's a lack of police and staff or whatever. Well, that's what they tell us, so that's why they can't really do this, that, and the
Right.
other. But
Mm-hmm.
the peer recovery program that they have, and it's
Uh-huh.
to help heal and it gives you tools to just to get over whatever it is, whatever trauma that you've been faced with in life. So I completed that program, and then you have this Think and Decide and Change program that it breaks down it breaks down your it breaks down your brain, not literally your brain, but your mental, how your mind works, how everything is basically rooted from your thoughts. But we
Uh-huh.
understand, your thoughts come how you perceive things kind of come from, for the most part, your belief system. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
it goes from your belief system to your thoughts, then your feelings, then your attitude, and then your actions. So that's
Right.
basically like the how they translate into your actions or whatever. But this program, I feel like it's needed for everybody, whether you're incarcerated or just anybody, period, for you to get a better understanding of yourself. Once you learn yourself, you understand what trigger you, what it is that you need to work on. It helps you break down yourself and know yourself. You know yourself. If you don't know yourself, you don't know where you're going at. You have no understanding of what it is that you should be doing or how to better yourself, which I feel like we all should be working for in life is to better ourselves and progress in life or whatever we feel our purpose may be or whatever it is. Everything is rooted in self. Everything that we want to know about anything, once we understand self first, then you'll understand everything else.
Right. I feel like, sometimes when we are brought up and we're being raised by our parents and our grandparents, so on and so forth, that we carry those beliefs and what they taught us along with us. And then sometimes we tend to hold on to them so tight because we feel like that's the stitch that holds everything together. And then we learn things that may be contrary to that. Not that they taught us wrong,
Correct.
but they just feel like this is the way to go. And then you live in this world and you like, no, this can't be. And I was always taught, by my mom and my grandmom, I would never tell you anything wrong. And it's not that they taught us wrong. Ignorance sometimes can be passed along. And
Yes.
sometimes it's innocent ignorance. They don't know any better because they weren't taught any better. So then we live in that, and it's hard sometimes to break away from what we grow up with and what we learn and what we know to do something different. And it's a little scary sometimes. So it's important that what we learn as a child growing up, that sometimes we have to break away from those chains because sometimes people don't see themselves past
Yes.
what they already have. So it's important. I like what you said when you said, I don't know if that's something that was in the class that you were speaking of, but you grow up this way, you learn this, and then you have to break away from those things and move on to your own understanding of the things that you've learned. It's
Yes.
important that we don't lose ourselves sometimes, and we don't want to bring along bad habits that will keep us bound and in a place, that's just not a good place. And James is on. James said, good evening. Good evening, James. Thank you for tuning in and joining us. James is on here. Mr. Darius. Um, I don't know if you particularly know him, but he is on here, and little family is on. She's replying and responding. So what happens now? You're learning these things, and um, you have your support system, your mom and your children and your friend, and you learning these new things. How are you going to apply all of this once you're released? Because we're fighting. We fighting. We're gonna get y'all out of there.
Yes. I see. All right. Now, the first thing that you have to, I would say, do is, now we all know, coming from here, you don't know exactly how things are going to be when you're put back into society, especially when you've been gone for so long, because
Right.
change overnight. But the first thing that I feel that a person has to do is create a plan. You got to have a plan for yourself, and you have to already have to already basically implementing those things while you are in here, and
Right.
whatever resources that you have while you're in here, because you I if a person leaves today and they go home and they be like, all right, well, I'm about to start doing this, that, and the third, or when I get out there, I'm gonna figure out da 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 da. You already handicapping yourself, because now you have no focus already once you get out there. So while you in here, you're supposed to be setting up whatever it is you feel needed in order for you to accomplish your goals. So that's why goals are so important, because they give us a direction in life. They give us guidelines in our life. They make us disciplined. They make us disciplined, because if I have a goal, it's going to structure my life. I'm going to set up a plan. It, I'm going to have steps to that plan. So those steps, those steps that I need to complete to get to that step. That's what keep me disciplined. So now that goal is what I'm focused on. So now I have no time to entertain anything else but what it is that I'm trying to complete. So my energy now going into you channeling that energy into something productive, because we all have energies. It's about what it is that we put it into. Because when you sit around and you have no goal or no objective or nothing, that's going to lead you in all these different directions. Now it's like you freelancing. Now you just all over the place.
Right.
So you gotta have goal. You have to set a goal well, goals for yourself, short-term goals, uh, middle-term goals, and long.
Absolutely.
Those goals are supposed to have end goal to it. So that's the one thing that I feel like you have to have leaving out here. And you especially if you can create some type of finance for yourself so that when you do go home, you won't put yourself in a predicament where you're in survival mode. And
Hmm.
survival mode is very, very I feel like that's the worst place that you can be in life period because when a person is in survival mode, you don't have you're not thinking rational. You have no logic to how you're moving because you worried about your livelihood. You might be worried about how I'm going to eat tomorrow, where I'm going to
Hmm.
stay at. This that. So now it's like all you rationalizing go out the window because now you feel like your life is being threatened. So you being financially stable, at least even have enough money that probably can you know last you for 30 days until you figure out what's the correct route that you probably want to take to start implementing whatever your goals are when you get out there. So some type of some type of little finance set to the side, and you having a plan for when you get out there, having the goals for when you get out there. I feel like they're the most important things for you to do as a man coming home from being incarcerated and being released into society.
Okay, let me ask you this question. You may or may not know the answer to this. Um,
Yeah.
since you've been away for so long, but when you walk in the streets, you walk in the streets and you pass in different stores, maybe like a dollar store, Family Dollar, a supermarket, a hardware store. Every store out here has a help wanted sign in there. Everyone. You might go into a Walmart and every aisle is cluttered with like boxes that need to be open and the shelves need to be full. I mean, like every supermarket. Why do you think people aren't working?
Why do I think people aren't working?
Yeah, because it's jobs out here. It's definitely jobs. Every McDonald's, every hospital, every Wendy's, and I understand these are fast food restaurants, every Home Depot, every Lowe's. You go in there, you're going to pass a help wanted sign, need help hiring, every store. So although the economy is, I mean, the people are struggling. People are really struggling. Um, I ask myself often, like, no one's working. These people out here not working. Every store has a help wanted sign in there in the window. Why do you think? What
Yeah.
do you think is the reason because of that?
All right. Now I'm gonna give you the positive side to it. Why people not working?
Okay.
The negative side to it. So I'm gonna give you the negative side to it first. The negative side to it would be people aren't working because people have a pride. People have a pride issue, and a lot of our people they they find self worth in materialism. So the amount of money that these jobs are paying, it's not enough for what it is that they value. So they don't think that this is enough for them, or the social standards of they don't want to be saying, oh, I'm working this job, da 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 da, or I can't afford these materialistic things.
Mm-hmm.
Pride, pride dictates a lot of people's lives, especially now. The fact that people live now, it seems like for an image, which is the fantasy world, which is social media. Everybody is living to big image. Now
Mm-hmm.
that's that's the negative side of it. Now the positive side of it, why people aren't working, is because I feel like since COVID started, it gave people time to actually sit down and not be in survival mode. So which means that they are thinking and they are starting to see what's actually going on in the world. So
Okay.
if you really think about it, just think about how many movements were started during COVID. Just think
Right.
about how many entrepreneurs have been created since COVID, and and that's why that's the positive side to it. People, it's more entrepreneurs now than it was before
Yep.
COVID. I'm quite sure the entrepreneurship rate went up very, very high, and
Mm-hmm.
that came from people starting to wake up and starting to actually see the capitalist society that we live in, and the fact that people been capitalizing off of us since our existence, even in this country. So that's why you have all these different people saying, "Oh, this generation lazy, this generation lazy." That's opinion based because I'm quite sure this generation probably have the most youngest entrepreneurs and probably most entrepreneurs out of majority generations or whatever. So I feel like that's that's the reason why. And it's like, all right, we came to the point to understand that this country is based off of classism, and we know who always been at the bottom. So the
Right.
fact we understand their system now, and that it was for us to stay at the bottom to keep them wealthy, it's like they're mad because nobody is trying to do y'all slave labor no more. Because that's exactly
Okay.
it's economically it's a capitalist system. It's for y'all gonna work these jobs that's only gonna pay y'all to probably not even keep y'all neck or y'all neck over water because we
Yep.
understand that minimum wage has is supposedly went up, but if you ever pay attention to it, the cost of living is always higher than what
Yep.
wages. So what that means, you work these jobs making minimum wage or not even making minimum wage. You might be making way more than minimum wage, but the cost of living is so high that it's like at the I pay my rent, my water bill, my car insurance, my car payment, if I have a car payment, my light bill, this and the third. I barely even have enough food to even fill my refrigerator up because
Yep.
everything then went up too. So it's like it's even if I only buy the necessities after my paycheck, I don't have nothing. So it's like, what's the point of me working this job when you know what our parents always used to tell us? Oh, we live in paycheck to paycheck. If I'm living
Preach.
paycheck to paycheck, what's the point of me gonna go work this hard labor and break my back when I'm not getting nothing out of it. I'm not it's not producing nothing but another added on struggle to all the other struggles that we face with in this country.
Mm.
But thankful that people are woke now. They have more access to the world through social media. Uh, they're exposed to way more. Even though we don't like certain things that they're exposed to because there's a negative and positive to everything. But the positive is definitely, I would say, productive for us right now because the amount of entrepreneurs that it didn't create.
And
So
it
that's
definitely did that.
yeah,
Definitely did that. It's studies show that entrepreneurship has almost, I think they said something like tripled since COVID. People have found their lane and they're working it. Absolutely.
yeah. So it's like why keep working to keep these people rich and wealthy who we know through history don't even like us. So why not go in business for myself? But that's this is a society that we live in, man. It's a class we live in a country that's based off of classism, but it's a capitalist society. So why why not make myself rich?
Right.
Why not
Absolutely.
make myself wealthy?
And you can. It's a
I
lot
mean,
of lanes, it's a lot of avenues, it's a lot of ways to make money out here, and all of them are legal. It's a lot of ways to expand yourself. It's a lot of ways. I mean, for anyone, you get the right people behind you because it's always in who you know. You get the right people behind you, you get the
yeah,
right business idea, and you can shoot to the top.
and that's that's the thing now, man. When we were growing up, even at my age, when I was growing up, when your age was growing up, a lot of people was we only had we was only introduced to this or that. It was either sell drugs or go get a job at McDonald's. Which one you gonna pick? That's all we was introduced to. It's not like
Right.
that. So now that we have options, now it's like, oh, I ain't gotta do that. I can go do this. I can go.
Yep.
I can start my own. I can start my own clothing line. I can start my own. Now people, it's the resources is unlimited now, and the knowledge is there. It's everywhere that you look. The knowledge is there, but it's the
Right.
fact that we have options now. That's the difference. That's the difference from back then and now. And people are taking advantage of though the knowledge that's at hand and everything that people is willing to teach you and show you now. So it's like just now that I found a way to fill a void and I found a way that I can make legit money and still live the way that I want to live, less low risk, high reward. That's
Okay.
how we go.
Okay. That makes sense.
But it's all through education though.
And that's what I tell people all the time, all the time. Educate yourself. Education sometimes isn't always so that you can, the ultimate goal is to definitely get a job that's paying you, but education will take you a long way. And without it, anything that you try and you're not educated in it, you're not going to make it. You're going to always rely on someone else. You're going to always have to seek that guidance for someone because you don't fully understand. The power is definitely in education. Absolutely. I
Yeah,
stand on it, stand behind it 100%.
that's and it's so crazy. The crazy thing about it is that every problem that we have as a people in this country, the root of everything is always poverty. That's the root to all of our problems.
Yep.
Life.
Yep.
If you was financially stable, you would never be in none of these type of situations. You would get a better education. That's why people pay to go to private school because they're trying to pay for a productive education or so-called when we say when you go to college they make you pay for the truth and even that's watered down. But
Right. Yep.
finance
Hmm.
is what drives this country. So that's the root to every problem. We would have no problems in the black community if they wasn't poverty stricken because we know that it's thriving black communities.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. There are absolutely thriving Black communities. Absolutely. And they one just caught on fire in California, burned down to the ground. A thriving Black community.
Yeah, yeah, yup,
Yep.
yup. And we understand that it's certain people do not want us as a people to thrive. That's why they burnt down
Yep.
to Oklahoma because they saying that
Mm.
he him for anything. We was independent, but the only way that this country lasts is through the parasitic capitalism that
Mm.
thriving off of since its existence. And we know where that came from. Slavery created the whole monetary system in this country.
Yep. We
That's what
built
gave
this country.
so went from chattel slavery to to economic, social, and political slavery. So all it
Yep.
just switched it just pushed the game. That's all it is. But it's still it's to the demise of our people. That's what keep their table up on the backs. The backs of our
Yep.
man. That's it. But through the correct education, we'll supersede all everything.
Everything. Everything. Well, Mr. Darius Duppins, it has been a pleasure, sir. It's been wonderful speaking with you. You have definitely given us something for the mind. Is there anyone you want to shout out? You want to shout out someone?
Yes. My kids, Destiny and Darius, they are my driving force. That's what give me motivation. That's what keep me thriving and striving to see in life that for me to be a better person and just for me to even times when I may be down, lift my spirits back up and keep me pushing no matter what. So I mean, without them, I don't know where I would be.
All right. I know that's right. So we asked everyone, give us a jewel, give us a jewel, give the listeners and us something, to take back with us.
Uh, I would say everything in our life is a product of our thoughts, our mentality.
Okay.
What what we what we think, the things that we think is what manifests into our actions. So if you keep positive thoughts, you keep productive thoughts, then your actions will turn into productivity and you succeeding. So if anything that you want to change in life, just change your thoughts about it, and eventually that will turn into your actions. Your actions will turn into a different result or whatever it is that you want out of life. So just try to always stay positive, even when you just get discouraged. Just have the valor, no matter what, to continue to be resilient and do the right thing, even if it's in the worst circumstances.
All right. That is Darius Jewel. That is Darius's Jewel. Go ahead.
Nothing worth having comes overnight. It's earned over time.
Time and hard work. Absolutely. We see you, Destiny. Thank you for the hearts, baby doll. Well, that is our time, everyone. We want to thank Darius again for coming on. We really appreciate you. We appreciate you for coming on and sharing. We would like everyone to like, share, and subscribe to help us grow this place. Portia A said that was beautiful. Bless up, Darius. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here. So again, like, share, subscribe. We are here every Wednesday. I'm sorry, every third Saturday at 7 o'clock. Sunday. I don't know. I'm getting this all wrong. Every third Sunday, y'all, at 7 o'clock. We are here. We'll be live. If you know anyone who want to come on the show, they don't have to be incarcerated. You want to come on, you want to speak about someone who is incarcerated. Our email is fighting for freedom, the number 4, fighting for freedom at my Yahoo. That's important. Make sure you put my Yahoo.com and let us know, and we'll send out the information to whoever want to come on, and we'll get you on the show. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. I don't know. Let me see if my husband is on so he can say his salutation. Hello, babe, you there?
Yeah, am I here?
Yeah, you are.
You have 60
All
seconds.
right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Rodney Pitts, and of course, I'm the co-host of Fighting for Freedom. And I thank you all for tuning in to another episode. Before we end, though, this episode, I would like to a brief moment to address greater society. For those who have spent many years behind these walls, who have now matured, aged out of crime, and have taken the necessary strides to better themselves, like accomplishing skills and attaining knowledge and wisdom that would allow them to be productive citizens with positive things to offer and make a difference on the outside, should have the opportunity for a second chance. It is essential that the necessary resources and services are being provided to ensure that the men and women have the tools to successfully re-enter the community, stay and be productive with a purpose. With that being said, I would like to hail up No Struggle, No Success, Life at the Release, Out for Justice, Time Organization, High Hopes, and the many other organizations who stepped up with immediate support readily available for those re-entering greater society to ensure that they continue to grow and be equipped to be successful and not return to the inside of this beast. To Miss Queen, we give you thanks. We bless up. We hail you up every time. You know what I mean? Because without you, these voices in the dark would still just be whispers. We thank Mr. Job for everything that he's done to help run this thing so that it goes nice and smooth and so that it'll help to reach out to greater society. And man, we continue and we continue to thank DaBoXX Radio, man, because without it, like I say, man, We just been lost little voices out in the woods. You know what I mean? So I thank y'all, man, and y'all have a great evening. God bless y'all. Stay up, stay strong, stay focused, and remain ever solid.
All right. Thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.